Hi, it's Amy and Tim. We are back from Go With Less. Today's conversation is one a topic we're asked about literally all the time, several times a week. Whether it's a friend we've known for a long time, a family member, or a stranger, we're asked, how did you do it? How did you do it? How did you retire in your 40s? And I think that the way that the question is asked and the place where it's asked usually seems like they're looking for like a 2-sentence answer that takes just a minute. Well, the reality is this is kind of a long answer, and so we're very happy to talk about that and to answer that question. But this is a better place to do that, where we can share with a little bit of a longer answer and give it the time that it takes, so that it's not just a one. Because we could answer it and spend less money. That's done. That's the answer. No, but that doesn't really help a lot of people.
So we're going to break this up into multiple segments. So we've been on multiple podcasts where we talked a little bit about our story, or actually extensively about our story, but thought this would be a good forum to give some details that we might not have covered. Usually in the podcast forum, we're asked questions, we answer those questions, and then we have to move on. And so we're going to start with, I guess, our big spending life prior to our move to realizing we were going to move down this path to early retirement.
So it was a big process.
One of the things
actually, before you get going, I do want to say we love being on podcasts. So we don't want to. So we're not dissing on the podcast.
No,
we love being on podcasts, but it's their questions, and sometimes it's in a time format that we don't have all the time in the world. Here we have all the time in the world. So this is going to be an ongoing conversation. We do hope that you're going to follow that conversation by subscribing to our channel. But I'm sorry, go right ahead.
No, I was going to say is, so when Amy and I first met, so I think, and the funny thing is, and we'll talk about this quite a bit, I think we both thought we were relatively frugal. So we'll talk about some of the spending that we were doing at the time. So when I was a recently divorced dad when Amy and I first met. So I had purchased a townhome, a 2-bedroom townhome for myself and my 3 children, which were here part-time. I think I paid about $170,000 for it, again, which seemed frugal at the time. I also owned 2 cars, so I had a Jeep Commander, or I actually had a Jeep. It wasn't a Jeep, it was a Cherokee at the time. And I also had a second car. It was just a play car. I had a BMW convertible. It was used.
Tim's play car.
But it was a convertible. I had multiple motorcycles, which I didn't ride. And I had an RV, like a pull-behind RV, that I only used, I think, once. So, also, trying to think of some of the other things.
There are plenty.
There are plenty.
Tim liked his toys.
I did.
And I was indulgent with my dog. Since I didn't have my own kids, the dog was my complete baby. Maybe some of you can relate. But so Tim would show me that he loved me with nice gifts. I showed my love for the dog with nice gifts, because I'm sure that she really cared about nice gifts. And I'm just joking, by the way. And so when I would go get my haircut, I would go to the doggy bakery and buy her dog biscuits that they had like 20 different varieties of, like liver treats, sweet potato biscuits, chicken rosemary snacks, things like that were homemade in this beautiful case. So I would go buy maybe like, I don't know, a quarter to a half pound of $7-8 of dog treats. They would last about a week, and it made me super happy. So it wasn't something that I did every week or every day. I did it only when I got my hair cut, which I have, it's not that often. But anyway, and I would go to the vet. If the dog like sneezed, off we go to the vet. And so that was where I would spend quite a bit of money. And we didn't take on any debt. So we lived well within our means. So we didn't have any consideration that this might be excessive at all. And if you're doing that, that's completely fine. But our goal morphed over time. So back then we were just happy spending what we were spending, tracking what we did spend, and we were happy with what we tracked. So even though looking back now we think that's kind of funny to have that excess, we didn't know it then. And where in your life are you having spending creep in that maybe if you were to look back or if we were to look at it, where might you want to hide up that you're not feeling like, oh, this is a little bit of a gray area?
A couple of more things. So
there's like 100, at least hundreds. There's hundreds.
I used I would go to the movies with the kids, not every weekend, but regularly. And so we'd go to matinee. Again, I thought it was frugal. So there were 4 of us. And then when Amy came into the picture, there were 5 of us. And so we would bring candy in that we would go get at Walgreens, and then we would buy drinks to share. And it would
I hope the movie police doesn't come and arrest us now.
But we were spending at least $40 every time we simply went to see a movie. At least $40 to go see a movie. And
Thinking
also,
you were doing it cheap because it was the matinee.
That's right, and we were sneaking in the candy. And then also, there used to be there still is a restaurant week in Denver, but it's morphed over the course of time. When Amy and I first met, it was $52.80 to see or to eat a 3-course meal for 2 people. And so during restaurant week, Amy and I would go multiple times, 4, sometimes even more. We'd go as often as we could possibly squeeze into the week. And this was at nicer places, so we thought, well, this is a great value, so we're going to go have these fantastic meals. And so that's something else we used to do with regularity.
By the 4th meal, we didn't want any more food. So it wasn't even like we were enjoying it and it was special. It really wasn't, because it was so excessive. So that we're just kind of establishing where we came from. So this is just the very beginning as to the beginning of our relationship. We're going to flush that out. Please subscribe to our channel down below.
Yep.
Yes, we do backflips when that happens. And actually, the backflips happen when you subscribe to our website, which is www.gowithless.com. Tim could be doing backflips, virtual backflips. I should say that he's virtual backflips. So anyway, please put any comments, ask questions in the comments down below if you have any questions that you'd like us to address as we're fleshing out our story. And we appreciate you following along. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Take care.